Jai Bhim, Jai Bharat. My name is Harbans Virdee, in English Virdee, English people call. I was born in a village, my mother's village. It is a tradition that the first child always take birth at mother's village. But all of us are born in my mother's village on 14th November 1951. I was only 2 years old when my father came to UK. So with the blessing of Baba Sahab, I haven't seen poverty because my father was here. At that time, there was no mobile and all that. Every time somebody went from here, my father used to send me clothes. So with the blessing of Baba Sahab, Dr. Ambedkar, I haven't seen poverty. But all of our relatives, people around our houses, they were poor. They were very poor. How can I say not ignoring them? How can I ignore them? I can tell you one incident in my life. I was in the 4th standard. One Brahmin man came. At that time, I didn't know. He was very tall. So he came into our class. He said, tomorrow, in the memory of my father, I want to take the boys for food. So very good. Next day, I put the cloth which my father sent from here, both the socks and the polish the shoes, put the oil, and I'm going for today. So when that man came, boy or man, he said, okay, those boys who want to go, I was the first one to get up. My teacher was Jaginder Singh. He knew who I was. He said, Harbans, you going? I said, yes, Master Ji. He said, no, sit down. Only Brahman can go there. For all day I was thinking, I'm fair color, I'm wearing a cloth from England. Why didn't they take me? Then I asked my mama, who was 4 years older to me. Then he explained me, because we are low caste. Even though my father used to be a weaver before he come to UK, so was my grandfather, great-grandfather, even from the mother side. Now you can see how dirty work is a weaver, how artwork they do. So that was very big shock for me. And I never liked whatever the surrounding was, Hinduism, Rama, Krishna, this and that. And I had the same experience from the Sikh religion. So one example I used to give it to people, that you are saying God, God, but Buddha was searching in the jungle for 6 years. He didn't find any God. That was when I was a boy. So now when they meet me, they say, yeah, but you used to tell us about Buddha already. So naturally, I was a Buddhist because I didn't believe anything. Now I will give a message to my people, whether India or here. See, when Baba Sahib announced that he's going to embrace Buddhism or go back home, it was not conversion, because we were not Hindu. We were doing all the traditions of Buddhism, but we didn't know. I can give you so many examples. It is very difficult. I mean, in Maharashtra, there is different situation. But in Punjab, we are in Maharashtra or other states, you are only facing Hinduism. We are facing two, Hinduism and Sikhism. And they are both dominant. So it is very difficult for us. But Buddhism in Punjab is growing very fast. Now, people some time ago, they used to say, yeah, but you know what people like, they like to make excuses. Yeah, but if we become a Buddhist, then we will lose our reservation. Then I tell them in 1992, VP Singh has passed the law that those who will go back home into Buddhism, they will get all the facilities, right? But still, that was their excuse, because it's stuck in their mind that, oh, no, Buddhism, because they got the same attitude for Buddhism what Brahman got. Matter of fact, I will say in Punjab, now we are not getting opposition from the Hindus or the Sikhs. It is our people who are opposing this now. And another thing I want to point out, the British people, they done the census in India 1871. From 1871 to 1911, no scheduled caste was telling themselves a Hindu. What were they saying? In North India, we were saying Adadhan. In East India, we were saying Namo Shudra. In Tamil Nadu, I go there a lot, Adi Dharavara. I think in West, they were saying Nagvanj. Okay? In 1911, because when the Hindu population was going down, only then the Brahman had the meeting to say, all these untouchable, why don't we write them Hindu? And that's when we came Hindu. Before that, we were never counted as Hindu. Our people converted to Christianity. The first reason is that when they were ruling India, because we people were eating pork and cow. So with the British, nobody will work. We will work there. So when we are in their company, they are giving us brotherhood, sitting next to them, eating with them. Why should we be Hindu who are not letting us go into the temple? So I will become a Christian. Same situation with our people went into Muslim. But I come back on to, I go to Tamil Nadu a lot. I saw with my own eyes, the high caste people, their church is separate. Our people, scheduled caste, their church is separate. Even cemeteries are separate. So, did they get the equal right in Christianity? No. I give you one example. In South Hall here, there was one Christian man working with me from Punjab. So, because I'm a leader of the Buddhist, so he said, I want you to meet our pastor. I said, why not? I went there. You know what is because we have the impression in Punjab, North India, that the Christian comes, the sweeper community, we call Bhangi there, they become a Christian. So when he said, this is my pastor, so I shook hand. You know what is the first word he said? Because he must be thinking that I'll be thinking that he is from the sweet. He said, I am from Brahman community, pleased to meet you. Can you imagine that in Christianity? What Baba Sahib done, because he was a law minister, so he deleted all these things. There were many in Maharashtra. They have to wear black thread in the neck, and our ladies cannot wear the sari, pechid or whatever you call. They have to wear like dhoti. That was a restriction for our people. In a different state, different restriction. So yes, in Punjab, if we get at a present moment, see even the people, when they get power or when they get money, they don't know what to do, where to do. They do in the wrong things. You understand? The people who are living abroad, NRI, the scheduled caste, if they concentrate on that, they could buy half of the Punjab. But what they done? They made very big house, or go there with the Mercedes car, But if they have had concentrate on that, they could buy a lot of land. People done that, but I think only 2% of the land in the Punjab is with the scheduled caste. Even though they are, especially in my area, we are 35 to 40%, but the landlords are only 12%. Doesn't that surprise to you that the 12% people are the ruling, 35% are getting all the washes from them? Because they've been brainwashed. 1 week before the election, they give them bottle of liquor or give them quick soup, and that's it. They can't think further than their nose. They don't know the value of their vote. I don't like the word Dalit. This is another name given to us to identify us. Now, before that, we were called Harijan. What is the meaning of Harijan? Hari means God, Jan means children. I got my father. I am not a son of God. And you know where this name came from? In Gujarat, there was Narasimha poet, and he wrote, because Devadasi Pratha in India, because there is a one caste Devadasi. When the girl is the eldest girl in the family is about 8 or 9-year-old, they take her to the temple. Now they have given to the temple. Naturally, when that girl is 16, 17, 18, she become a woman. First, that Purohit Brahman, he will take her virginity. Then all his friends who will come to the temple, he will use her as a prostitute. At that time, there was not that conscience how to protect, not to have baby. So that woman will become pregnant. Now, she slept with God knows how many children, men. So he named those children Harijan. Narasimha of Gujarat, poet. Very cunning person, Gandhi, he picked up that name and gave it to us. And Baba Sahib retaliated that we are not children of God. If we are children of God, all the others, they are children of devil. So we are all children. So to replace this word, when Baba Sahib reacted, and Baba Sahib never used the Dalit word. Never. Downtrodden, depressed classes, untouchable. He never used the Dalit. Now Dalit is a Hebrew word. That means crushed. I was a supervisor here at the age of 25, 26. I've been living in this country 60 years. I am 5th generation here. Am I Dalit? So this word is given replace of Harijan. I'm glad our people are realizing that. All of my books written, you will never find Dalit word in there. I will write SC, downtrodden. I use actually SC, right? Scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and OBC. So all these words we should think and then only accept. Thank you. I am not Dalit. I don't like to use the word Dalit. Neither, well, Harijan is a ban in India, thanks to G.P. Singh. Until 1966, myself, we could build a beautiful house. As I said before, we bought agricultural land. We wanted to become landlord. So up to 1966, we lived in the mud house. After that, my father, we demolished that and we built the proper house the way NRI should have. But I tell you a story. My grandmother told me that because we were weavers, my great-grandfather, in the rainy season, we were on the plain land. Not very far, there were mountains. So my great-grandfather, in the rainy season, he used to buy all the, buffalo, cow, the goats, which were not very healthy, take them to the mountain and sell them there, make profit. And bring from there who are healthy, about to give baby, and sell them, make the money. So when he wanted to marry his son, which means my grandfather, he wanted to show the prosperity. So my grandmother told me, so what he does, my great-grandfather, not the whole house, only the front wall, and overnight, he built with the bricks, but overnight he covered with the mud from outside, as the usual house of our people. So my grandmother said, when I got in the house, they covered the face. From covering the face, she was looking around and brick house. That means my father-in-law is very rich man. Now, the system which forced my great-grandfather, even his father, what happened, that system was and is, H.L. Virdee will never compromise with that system. And I'm doing it with the mission of Baba Sahib. Can you imagine how my great-grandparents were feeling? I am the first generation to get education after Harshvardhan, because he was the last Buddhist emperor. So my message will be to my people, study Baba Sahib. We are not saying become Buddha, and study, ask questions. You have nothing to lose. As Baba Sahib said, you only got the chance to lose, and you will be free person. Yeah. So our people should not hesitate to come back home, Buddhism. Thank you.